Alright, so I'll tell you what pisses me off. I'm here making a key for this Forerunner, and I've had the keys made for over an hour, and you've got like a 15-minute, 20-minute delay when you're programming. Well, I've gone through that a couple times with my programmer, and when I finally tore the dash apart, this thing had an aftermarket alarm, and I don't know if you can see it there, but some retard didn't wire the wires back in when they yanked out the alarm system, so the computer couldn't completely communicate. So I've just been wasting my time for 2 hours out here because some jackleg aftermarket stupid retarded alarm system. So we'll see if hooking those two wires up will let it program after another 15 minutes. Jeez. So success. It was definitely a challenge. If this wasn't a friend of mine, I would have left. But if it was a friend of mine, I'd be making more money, right? Alright, so let me button this thing back together and I'm out of here. Alright, so I'm almost back home after I made that stinking key for that retarded truck. Man, on to better, funner, super, nicer, awesome things. I took the windshield frame off of the Jeep when I was switching cabs, you know, taking the old cab out. So I went in and took that off. And I can also say this, my Milwaukee impact on those Torx bits, I guess because it's so much torque so quickly, it knocked all those bolts out of there without breaking anything. So I was amazed at that. Anyway, when I got the hood hinges off, they were completely frozen up. They wouldn't bend at all, and they were pretty rusted up. So I put them in my electrostatic bath, and we're going to go back and see how well it took all the rust off. I know that it was bubbling pretty good, and I'm amazed at this kind of stuff. Plus, there's no effort. You just plug it in. So we're going to take a look at that next. That is so nasty looking. Alright, it's been in there 2 days. We're going to take it out and pressure wash it and see what it looks like. Okay, you can see where I need to cut out here. So I'm going to get my jigsaw ready and we're going to cut this section out. So it pretty much matches that for the fan to go through. And then everything else, I think, should be pretty close to the same configuration. Everything else looks about the same. So we're going to find out. Okay, the hole looks pretty good. I'm going to go get the heater box and we're going to set it in there and see if it fits inside there. Okay, I got it to fit in, but I walloped the heck out of it right here in the middle because I was thinking that maybe this was causing where this got pushed in, you know, like half inch, quarter, maybe an inch, I don't know. I pressed it out with the porta power and then I walloped it real good right here in the middle where it pushes up against the heater box, because that's really where I think it was damaged, the old heater box. And the hole looks pretty good, so I'm going to set it back up in there and we're going to take a look, make sure that there's no obstructions on it, because once I paint this I don't want to have to beat on it anymore. Alright, so it laid up in there really well. I didn't have to force it to tighten down, and I can see the bottom of the bolts here. That looks good. The fan actually looks pretty good. I need to bend that in just a hair on the bottom. I'll probably have to put some silicone or some kind of sealer around this edge, but that's really good. Looks fine. And I can tell from right here that this bracket lined up just perfect with the hole, and that's kind of what I was looking for. This is about where it needs to be as far as like the vent coming up here on the top. So that looks good. It should be pushed out plenty. And I can go ahead and take it off, and now we can start doing the cab itself on the outside, prepping it for paint. Well, I've been working on prepping it, and it looks better. Washed it off, got all it cleaned out, waiting for this water to dry out a little bit. On this piece, I could tell that it was pushed in just a hair, so I took my porta power and pushed out on it and got it moved out just enough, and certainly not far enough where we couldn't shim it if we needed to in that section. So that looks good. And I'm ready to put a little primer on here and see what it's going to look like after we paint this thing. I'm curious to see the color of the paint. So that's kind of where I'm at. I've had the base coat on the mixer for a while. I'm going to make sure that it's mixed up really, really well, because I want to make sure that all the colorant's mixed up inside. It's in primer now, and I don't really care as far as like having it primered or anything, because it's the firewall, but it is my test of what the actual color is going to be. And that's the only reason that I've sprayed painted the primer on this portion. Otherwise, I would just put some color on it, been done with it. But we're going to paint some color and see what the color comes out like. And the color, yeah, okay. Alright, so I got the color coat on, and it is a dark blue metallic, but Jennifer likes it, so that's all that matters. So anyway, it is a dark blue, and I think it looks good. Got a couple of runs in it because I don't care. This is all covered up by the other piece parts. It's just really for protection. But I did want to see what the color looks like, and that's going to be a dark blue. But it looks good. So I think that's what we're going to go with. So that's about it for this video. I got it in paint on the firewall, and I'm actually pretty happy with the color. Jennifer approves, so we're good. I'm going to keep cleaning up out here, and next thing we're going to be doing is, I don't know, probably starting on the bodywork on this thing, so we can get the rest of it in paint. We'll be good to go. David from the Redneck Garage, keep turning your wrenches.